We get things like, oh, well, I don't know what to do with him. He won't listen or she won't listen, and I can't get them to do what I want them to do, so I think if we give them the medication, that it'll make it easier. Well, most teachers will tell you, a lot of our kids don't need to be medicated.
Right.
When they're medicated, they come in, they're lethargic. You can see the glassy look in their eyes, and they walk into your classroom and just sort of sit there. We need to have a conversation with our children also. Conversation should not just be for adults. Setting the boundaries, Dr. Barnes, you said that earlier, setting boundaries for our children, expecting them to achieve those goals. They may not achieve all of them, but they will achieve some of them. And by setting those goals, they will understand that, yes, you care about their well-being, and they will make that effort. So definitely, they are being over-medicated, and we need to start making a change to move away from those medications.
And I'll say this, as it relates to the medication process. Medication has been directly linked to increases in your check payments. And I'm sorry, I don't know how to sugarcoat that. But what I'm going to say to you is that it is also lessening your responsibility to raise your children. And because of that, then you are now saying that that is the only choice you have, when you actually should have been making choices earlier in terms of setting boundaries and holding your kids accountable for their behaviors. So what I'm going to do is say that I would start with a different place as it relates to medication. I do think that it's appropriate for some situations, but not all. And I do think that some kids are not stimulated, therefore you want to medicate. You have to learn how to stimulate and engage children where they are, and make sure that you're providing them the appropriate stimulus to get them engaged in what you're doing. If you are boring teachers, then they don't want to do your thing. Yeah, I don't want to be in your class either. And as a former principal, I will tell you that when I was bored, I didn't stay in your class long. And I talked to the kids when they were acting out and would say to them, come on, baby, just let me see if I can help you with your work. Still supporting you as best I could, but I understood, because I was that child that needed to be stimulated and engaged. And when I finished my work, if you had nothing else for me to do, then that was your issue. Believe me. Believe me, that was your issue. Because I was aggravated. And I know it, because I'm a questioner. And I'm a researcher, and I dig, and I want to know what you're doing back there. And why you don't have another work for me to do. And why we're not talking to me. And those are the kinds of things that I do. But what we've done is we've raised children who don't necessarily have the skill set to be as inquisitive or to deal with their questioning and the things that I used to do, so they do other things to act out. And then in that process, then what happens is we then say, you know what? You need medication. You must be ESC. You bad. You need to go to the alternative school. Absolutely not. What needs to happen is that we need to start engaging students at a level that is causing them to be stimulated, not medicated.
Amen.
I would just add that I think you mentioned that we should be talking to children, that what's most important is to hear, to really hear from children, that children understand that they, number one, they have rights, like we all do. We all have rights, including children. And that if we can create an openness and a dialogue, we might be able to better understand what their needs are, whether it's medication or not. Medication is a powerful resource that can help sort of level the playing field for someone if they're having mental health problems or challenges. So, you know, what I'm not a medication prescriber. I'm trained as a talk therapist, and there's only so much progress we can make in talk therapy if someone also needs the resource of medication. So what medication can do is help level the playing field for the person who is having the challenges, and make any other interventions that we're doing, talk therapy and the exercise and the diet and all that other stuff that you talked about, can make that much more effective. And I'm not suggesting that there aren't times or places where kids have been, or anybody has been over-medicated or mismedicated. But I think if we create a dialogue where we're getting accurate information from the person having the challenge, especially kids who are not afraid to tell you, I've been sad, I've been sad for the last 6 weeks, or I've been in my bed crying and I haven't been able to tell you, or I've been too afraid to tell you, I'm so anxious that I can barely keep my food down, but I'm scared of what you might say. If we don't have an openness to where kids can talk to us and tell us what their symptoms are, then we don't have what we need to get them to the right resources. So whether it's medication, whether it's more resources, or the whole gamut, I just wanted to highlight and underscore the fact that part of the solution is creating relationships in a culture of openness, trust, and respect, and that goes both